And a pleasant good morning to you from Tony'sPicks.com. This is Ramon Scott, and welcome to Night Moves here for Wednesday, January 28th. We're going to preview the action here for the NBA, NHL, and, well, with our light hockey schedule on Wednesday, we're going to look at some extended action in college basketball today. Just the best games on the college slate here for a Wednesday. Thank you for joining me here on the show. Hopefully get some folks riding in here. Had a little technical glitch out there, so some people might be in the wrong show. Hope I can get that squared away. So I might yap here for a few minutes and cover the action from Tuesday night, where we did pull off some winners here on Night Moves. We're also getting ready here momentarily for men's quarterfinal action at the Australian Open, set to begin here momentarily with Ben Shelton taking on Yannick Sinner. Can Ben upset Yannick Sinner here as a $7 dog today? One thing that I do hope he can do is take a set or two off of Sinner. I don't know if he can. I think I'd prefer to take Sinner in straight sets here. I think it's minus $1.30 or $1.35 is get the action rolling. A little bit of a bummer there, bad beat if you had Musetti over Djokovic in the earlier quarterfinal tonight. Musetti winning 2 sets to none, and did trail in the third set 3-1 when he came up lame and with an injury. Man, what a heartbreak that must be in a Grand Slam tournament, beating a legend like Novak Djokovic, who had won an all-time record 55 straight matches after losing the first set, but had to retire in that match, and it was Djokovic advancing to the semifinals earlier. Jesse Pegula in straight sets over Amanda Anisimova in a battle of Americans. Pegula came back in the second set after trailing 5-3 to win 7-6 and take that one in straight sets. And Elena Rybakina over Iga Swiatek in a bit of an upset there. Well, actually, it was a $1.35 favorite, but did take out Iga there in that one. Rybakina advanced to the semifinals in Australia. Rybakina will take on Pegula, 220 favorite on Wednesday, and Sabalenka taking on Svitolina, $4 favorite for Sabalenka in that one. And also, we already know the other matchup on the men's side with Alcaraz and Sasha Zverev, with Alcaraz a $5 favorite. All right, we got the people kind of rolling in here. Thank you for joining me here. Thanks, you guys, for seeing me there. Gaming Gang is here. Tim J, ready to go here. We're going to talk a little bit of action today on Wednesday with our previews. Let me just still see if I can get some more folks rounded up in here into the right show here right now. We did have some winners on Night Moves last night here in the NBA with the New York Knickerbockers. A winner over Sacramento. We had the Knicks last night, 103-87 for a W here. Also, we had New Orleans and Oklahoma City to go under yesterday. And we've been pushing these unders a little bit. I know there was a big over there yet, but man, the unders are rolling here right now in the NBA. And another one, big time last night here. We had it, but the news out of that game was the fisticuffs there. Well, let's just call it some pushing and shoving at the end of the game there between the Pelicans and the Thunder. At least the Pelicans, even if they're not showing a lot of fight and winning games, they did cover the spread, and they were able to, defend themselves a little bit, even though I think a lot of people thought the young rookie was maybe at fault there. I'm not sure what went down there at the end of the game with just some pushing and shoving there, and surprised SGA in that game tonight as Oklahoma City got the win, but we had the under as our winner here on Night Moves. We also had the under last night with the Nets and the Brooklyn Nets and the Phoenix Suns game under, another under there, 106-102. Nets got the money, Phoenix got the win. I got the under there in that one. NHL, we did have some winners here as well on Night Moves last night. We had Buffalo again, Buffalo. How about the Buffalo Sabres? 7 goals in the road win at Toronto. We had the Sabres here on Night Moves. We also had Winnipeg, their underdog over New Jersey last night. Picked the winner here on Night Moves. Also, Utah Mammoth, another underdog winner here yesterday. That was a good score, wasn't it? $1.40 winner with Utah over Florida there last night. We had the Kings as well over the Red Wings 3-1. The Kings put it down there with some great goaltending, some good defense last night with the Kings getting the road win over the Red Wings. Also had the over in that Blackhawks and Wild game that went overtime with the Wild coming back. Man, the Blackhawks look like they're going to stun them there. 2 late goals for the Wild. They went on to win it in a shootout there, but we did have the over here on Night Moves there last night. We also had the Kraken here on the show over the Capitals, another underdog winner there yesterday. How about that? Three underdog winners yesterday here on the show, including the Capitals there, the Kraken there, 5-1 as a home dog, and we did have the San Jose Sharks, who didn't there. I guess not a lot of people did. They were only $1.25. We had the winner there in that one over Vancouver. So I think that was a pretty good performance there on the ice on Tuesday. All right, we're going to get ready just in a moment. Let a few more people roll in here right now. College basketball action on Tuesday night. The Michigan Wolverines beat Nebraska to end Nebraska's winning streak, stop the great start for the Huskers here. Still a great run there for Nebraska. And they, if anything, they should have pulled off that game. They really were leading most of the way, but Michigan came back to grab the win in the end there. Hey, we did have the under on Night Moves, and you could have torn up your ticket at halftime, the old saying says, and I wouldn't have blamed you. It was 50-48 at halftime. We had the under here on the show, 154. It went for 98 points in the second half, just 49 points. It stays way under, actually. We had that winner here on Night Moves. The college plays rocked here on Night Moves actually yesterday. We had the over with the Wake Forest and Pittsburgh game, went overtime, but hey, we got there. Complain about plenty of losers in overtime. We'll take it here with the over in that one. Also, we had the over in the other overtime game there with Virginia and Notre Dame, although that one was already going over there at the end of regulation, I do believe. If not, it was over by that time as well. But the double overtime win there for Virginia last night. Notre Dame covered, but we had the over in that one here on the show last night. We also had the Arkansas Razorbacks, so on the road over Oklahoma, covering the 2 at 83-79. Arkansas got the win there in that one. Oklahoma led by a dozen, I think, late in with the 5 or 6 minutes to go in the first half, as Arkansas went on to win, and they've won 7 of their last 9. Poor Oklahoma, man, that's long gone here. They've lost 7 in a row after that 11-3 start. And we also had the over in the Buffalo and Bowling Green game. We previewed that one here last night. It's a good game in the MAC, and Buffalo won again impressively on the road, 89-78 there yesterday. And just got to squeeze in my premium winner, George Washington and St. Louis game to go under. We had the premium winner there in that one. We also had a premium winner, Indiana State and Illinois Chicago premium winner there on the over in that one. And we just got to throw in, of course, here for good measure, Miami of Ohio did hold off UMass. They remain undefeated, at least with that 20-0 record, as they were able to knock off UMass, held them off there at the end, 86-84 for the win. Also, a winner here on the show, Kentucky and Vanderbilt game to go under. We almost won them all here on Night Moves last night. We had the winner also with Nevada. Our only loser, I believe, was UNLV there in the finale against New Mexico. So other than that, we one loss with the show last night. I think that was, I want to say 7-1, 6-1, 7-1, 7-1 there with the premium picks. What's the other one? I think that was it. Yeah. All right. So thank you for joining. Oh, I know what the other one. Yeah, 7-1. Purdue and Indiana under. Purdue and Indiana under. Definitely went under there in that one. So yeah, 7-1 here on night ones. I thought there was one more actually. I kind of sounds like I'm just piling them on. Kentucky and Vanderbilt under 8-1 there last night. Okay, I think I got all the winners. 8-1. Uh, probably should be a little bit more scripted when you have such a big night like I did there on the college basketball board. You guys were with me. We've got a dozen of you in here right now. Finally, sorry, apologize for anyone who went to the other uh, YouTube stream. I had a technical glitch, and I just want to wait and get everybody in here right now. And I think we could. I think we could start. Apologize if you went to the wrong one and I wasn't in there. Just not sure what I did wrong here with that, but I think we got enough now to start the previews if we can. Thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. All right, we're gonna get ready to go here. I'm flying solo again tonight, so I want to hear from you in the chat. Help me out and push me along here to get through the show. I'm going to do some more. I'm going to go with a lot of college basketball tonight for sure. After all those winners we had last night here on the show. Wow. Okay. And don't forget, head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and take a look at our premium picks over there. Always our best picks are over at Tony'sPicks.com. You know, I'm on some other shows and some other channels as well, but just know that my best picks every day are over here at Tony'sPicks.com. Absolutely my top picks every day. Head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Wednesday. I better fire away more on college basketball. I did just go 2-2 with my premiums here on Tuesday. Probably should maybe have some of the show plays as the premiums. That's what we need to do. But hey, I want to provide you with a lot of great winners here on the show every night. And going over to Tony'sPicks.com, check out all the handicappers over at Tony'sPicks.com. Look at Vegas Al with a 9-ball there on the day. Terrific job by Vegas Al. Really proud of him and the show that he's doing there every night. I got to be honest, that's what I do when I'm prepping for my show. I'm watching Al every night and looking at all my numbers and getting ready. So thank you to Al for giving us a great show here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. He's right here in Vegas with me, so you know he's down by law. All right, Shane up there, 3 winners. Brian as well up there, and take a look at the last 30 days, last 7 days here. Got Stephen Duncan cranking it out in hockey. Bo Dunn, he's back and he's better than ever with a great start upon his return to the site. See Vegas Al up there as well. Nick Lagaretos, Joey Tron, Alninos, and Justin McKelvey stacks as well. And check out the hot cappers over the last 30 days. Click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice. Click on their handicapper profile page, and that's how you get signed up here over at Tony'sPicks.com. I'll have my top plays here. You see some of my record here right now with a good start to 2026. So let's have a great month. It's almost over already. We're ready for February. We're ready for the Super Bowl here. Hopefully be a good game here. I know we got over a week and a half to wait, but we got those props out already, so can't wait for that. We did see some NFL news there as well on Tuesday. The Steelers brought in their new head coach, introduced their new head coach, Mike McCarthy. Aaron Rodgers, you know, they've had a I don't want to say tumultuous time. I mean, I think they just have mutual respect for one another, but it does seem to open the door for Rodgers when you bring McCarthy back in, bring McCarthy into Pittsburgh. Broncos fired their offensive coordinator as well, poor Joe Lombardi. They said, hey, why don't you take a backup quarterback who hasn't thrown a touchdown, hasn't thrown a pass in 2 years, put him in the snow, and then see what you could do. See if you could do any better. So that felt kind of awkward, but they'll move on from that. Okay, I think we got enough people in here right now. There we go. We got nearly 2 dozen. So let's get ready to start the show here. There I am. Oh, there we go. Man, I'm having some issues here tonight with the software. Okay, let's get going here right now. Just say hello to the folks here real quick in the chat as we get ready to start the show. All right. Who else showed up? Jamal Giuseppe in here as well. Cal Dog is ready to join me tonight. And there's Mr. Weskers. He liked, I don't know why we're calling the NBA commissioner for the Grand Canyon game here last night, but how did that game ever get into overtime the way it was going there last night? It looked like it was over. I know that was our actually, you know what? That was hey, what can I say? We had Nevada. I better not talk too much trash about it, but we were on Nevada in that game here on the show. James Kelly, hello, thank you as well. There it is. Mr. West was talking about it. You have the lead with 0.2 and end up losing by 6. So maybe I was in there with the script, if you know what I mean. All right, yeah, Mr. Wesker's right. Maybe take a look in the mirror there, Sean Payton. Okay, let's get rolling. We've got our 2 dozen in here, so let's get rolling here with the card on Wednesday night. Take a look at this first one here, the LeBron James special tonight with the Lakers going in to take on the Cavaliers here. Cleveland coming in 4 straight wins right now for the Cavs, and they're heating up again. Probably about the second time they've kind of went on a pretty good run here. We still Cleveland's still got a pretty good team. If anything, they've been overlooked. Now, bummer news, man. I mean, certainly probably my favorite player in the league injured here right now and out indefinitely here for Evan Mobley. Out of action here. And look, it'll affect the line a little bit. We don't think of Evan as a totally dominant player, but he's certainly well above average, near all-star caliber. Here he's out indefinitely with a calf injury. So really bummed for my guy, Evan. His dad was a classmate of mine. He was the star of the basketball team. And, of course, I was the announcer for the team. I wasn't on the team. But met the twins when they were probably 12 years old in an alumni game that Mr. Mobley, who's now a coach at SMU, came back and saw those boys. And he said, these boys are going to be the NBA one day. And I said, you sure about that, Dad? You didn't make it to the NBA, but he was right. And I was just teasing him because those kids looked great from an early onset. And you know how good they are now, especially Evan. But he's going to be missing time here right now. With that calf injury. Also, Garland's been out here for a week right now. DeAndre Hunter, probable. Merrill is back to probable here for the Lakers. Austin Reeves been having some issues as well with a calf injury of his own right now. So see what you got here with this one. The Lakers taking on the Cavaliers. Look, even as good as the Cavs are and as good as they've been here of late, we know they've struggled to the number here for most of the season, actually. Just 8-19 against the spread at home, 12-25 against the spread as a favorite. So it's tough laying the points with this Cavaliers team. But, hey, the Lakers are 14-11 against the spread on the road. They are 8-10 ATS as a dog. These two teams did meet their first meeting back in December on New Year's Eve. Remember, it was 122-110. Cleveland got the win. On the road as a 4.5-point favorite in LA. The LA had a little bit of a challenged lineup there on that night. Actually, Luka, I think, was out of the game. I think LeBron was in, but Luka was out on that night. And Spider Mitchell had a good game. I'm trying to remember it now, back on New Year's Eve, kind of a ways back. But nonetheless, the Cavs got the win on the road. Cavaliers have actually covered for the last 6 meetings between the two teams overall. Lakers are 4-1 straight up in ATS over the last 5 games here. They're coming off back-to-back wins over Dallas and Chicago, but this is their 5th straight road game. But I know one guy's going to be fired up, as he always is when he comes into Ohio to play. So we'll see how LeBron fares here against Cleveland. Cleveland's won 6 of their last 7. They've covered 5 of those games. 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but the Lakers have gone under in 4 of their last 5, and the Cavs have gone under in 4 of their last 6 games. Lakers are 11-14 to the under on the road, and the Cavs are 11-18 to the under at home, but Lakers are 12-6 to the over as a dog. So let's see what you got here, Lakers and Cavaliers. I'll go to the chat. I'll maybe default to the chat and see what you guys think in this one. How will LeBron play when he comes back to Cleveland here? Cleveland, like I said, they won this one. They also won here at home last year in the matchup, 134-110 in that one. This road trip's getting a little long, but the Lakers keep winning here right now, winning 3 of the 4 on the road trip, including win at Denver as well. All right, go to the chat in this one. Thank you, everybody. Let's see what you guys have. Here's Mr. Weskers. He's on the Lakers on the money line here. And Timmy says he likes the over and the Lakers. He says LeBron to score 150 tonight. Well, I'm going to take the under on that number, but there's no doubt that LeBron, you could say that, some teams have motivation. Whether he could play poorly, he's not going to not have motivation. Even after all these years, he always wants to play good, play well back in the land, if you know what I mean. All right, and let's see here. Cal Dog is on the Lakers. Gaming Gang, Lakers on the money line here. And LeBron, this is LeBron. I know he's not crying prop, but maybe it is. Maybe it is for Timmy Tush's. I thought maybe he was trying to put a different word in there. LeBron points prop, LeBron assists. I'm trying to think of a word that kind of, but it could be Timmy Tushu says, well, LeBron will probably be crying somewhere in this game. Maybe Timmy did mean to put that in there. All right. Hey, in this one between the Lakers and the Cavaliers here, this is a long road trip for the Lakers. I'm sure LeBron's motivated right now, but I'm gonna go to the total. I don't want to be down on LeBron here. Let me get the total on this one. I'm gonna go under here with the Lakers and the Cavaliers tonight. Give me the under in this one. All right. LeBron weeps prop. Okay, I thought it was a typo there for Timmy Two Shoes, but maybe he was saying LeBron will be crying somewhere in this game. All right, I'm going to go with the under in this one between the Lakers and the Cavs. They had played Lakers here, been going under quite a bit of late, as I said. They did go over in the win over the Bulls there a couple of nights ago, and Cavaliers here have gone under in their last 2, so I'll take the under here. Chicago Bulls, Indiana Pacers, NBA action for Wednesday and Eastern Conference play. The Bulls, they lost to the Lakers in their last out, and that snapped their winning streak. Actually, the Bulls have been pretty hot here of late. For the Pacers, meanwhile, not so much. They lost last time out to Atlanta, 132-116 on the road. Now, Indiana is coming back from a long road trip. They were struggling on the road trip. The only team they could beat was OKC, which gives them hope at least, but maybe they saved it all up for that game, because other than that, they didn't win anything on that road trip, I don't think, here. Chicago, meanwhile, did have some nice wins over some good teams, Clippers, Minnesota, and Boston, before dropping that last one to the Lakers. These two teams met for the first time back in November. Pacers got that one 103-101 at home as a 2.5 point dog. Then they won and covered at Chicago 120-105 as a 4.5 point dog. So you could say that Pacers have looked pretty good against Chicago in their two games so far this season. Chicago has gone, however, just 1-5 straight up and against the spread in the last six overall with the Pacers, not just those last two games here. So Pacers kind of had their number despite here. Pacers not having the best of campaigns right now. But funny thing is, like we've said, the Pacers, as bad as they've been, they've covered a few here. 8-16 against straight up at home. However, 14-10 against the spread at home. And here are the Bulls, a favorite once again. Make sure they're still a favorite. They are. I mean, 1.5, maybe 2. And we know the Bulls are a terrible favorite this year. ATS 6-14. ATS as a favorite. So I'm going to have to try the Pacers, I think, here in this one, getting a couple of points at home. Bulls are playing well. I know that right now. Pacers not looking good, but Bulls just an awful favorite here right now. Let's see what the injury report here. Trey Jones is out of this game. That's pretty much it for the fresh. I'm going to try the Pacers actually here to pull off a little bit of an upset here. Look, the Bulls are only a 500 team. Yeah, the Pacers are dismal, 25 games under 500 here, but maybe they have one of the opponents they can actually handle here in this one. Look at that total. Maybe this is where we should have looked. 237 right now. I mean, yes, we know that the Bulls have had a few overs here, I guess, but look, the Pacers are 16-24 to the under as an underdog, and the Bulls are 9-12 to the under as a favorite. So it does look kind of peculiar there. Both meetings this season well under this number. Maybe I made the wrong play there on I should have went with the total. This is the way I feel about it. I know we've seen the Bulls certainly have their share of some high-scoring games, but is this going to be one of them? Maybe we're just caught up in that. The Lakers score was a high score. They've had some other high-scoring games of late, but see what you got in the chat. My chat pros here. Cal Dog is liking the Bulls. Mr. Wesker's on the Bulls as well. Nobody's going to agree with me on this one. Nemhard, 3 threes for Timmy. Nope, I stand corrected. There's Timmy. He's on the Pacers here. He's on the Pacers just because he likes Pat McAfee. Apparently, he likes anything Indiana. And Mr. Weskers, I think he's saying that the Pacers might be in El Tanco. I think Mr. Weskers is suggesting that the Pacers might be already in a tankathon mode. They're trying, they're battling, of course, several teams there for the worst record. I don't know who's going to get it. I mean, who's at the bottom right now besides Indiana? Obviously, Washington in there, Sacramento, Brooklyn, some of those teams anyway, battling for that bottom spot. So maybe they've packed it in, but I'm going to take them in this one. All right, Gaming Gang is on the under after, yeah. Thanks, Gaming Gang. I think you might be right there in that one. All right. All right, next up. Atlanta Hawks going to take on the Boston Celtics here. NBA action for Wednesday. The Atlanta Hawks have won 3 straight games right now. Ever since the trade, you got to say the Hawks have looked pretty good here. They've won these 3 in a row. They had a little bit of a winning streak earlier. Yeah, they had a couple losses, including one to Boston here just recently at home. Got crushed by Boston, actually, 132-106. That's when they were having a pretty good run, actually, after the trade of Trae Young, and brought in some other players. And, hey, it's worked out pretty good. Atlanta's 15-11 against the spread on the road, 16-10 against the spread as an underdog here. They are 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games against Boston, even though they lost that game to Boston 1-13 132 to 106. Before that, they'd had a pretty good run. I know Boston's got them both this year, but Atlanta was the team getting the money for the most part in the previous contest here against the Celtics. Atlanta's just 6-13 though, straight up in the last 19 games overall against Boston. Although Atlanta's covered 4 of the last 5 trips at TD Garden. Boston's won 5 of their last 7 coming in. They're coming in off a win over Portland. They've won 3 out of their last 4, but gone just 1-3 against the spread in those games. Boston sometimes caught laying a few too many points, and maybe that will be the case here. Atlanta looks like a hard-trying team here right now. Atlanta's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games on the road. Boston's gone under in 4 of their last 5. They've also gone under in 6 of their last 7 games at home. However, 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over. But I'm probably going to take another under here. I know I've been going under a lot on the show here. I hope that's okay. It's been a good run. Right now, there's no doubt that the unders have dominated here since almost the first of the year right now. And I'm going to take another under here in this one at 231. Boston's 13-9 to the under as a favorite, and 9-12 to the under at home here. I'm going to go with the under here with Atlanta and Boston. Let's hear from the chat in this one and see what you've got. It's going to be Mr. Wester says the Hawks are live. I agree with that. I probably would lean Hawks here in this one right now. Getting 7 here, it's not a bad number. Like I said, Hawks are showing more life once again. They've been on a little bit of a good string of late. And let's see here, though. Timmy likes the over, though, and Hauser to get his 3s, but Cal Dog's with me on that under, or I'm with Cal Dog. All right. Yeah, yes, I do, Timmy. Maybe, try to look like, just take the under. That way you look like you know what you're doing. But look, you got to mix in some overs too. That's the thing, right? I mean, you've got to hit it, the timing of the market, if you will. Hey, they're underway in Melbourne right now with Sinner and Shelton. Like I said, you want to play this one live. I did take the Yannick Sinner to win in straight sets. I hope Ben can I don't hope he win. I want to win the bet, but Ben's going to have his work cut out for him in this one. A gaming gang on Boston there. All right. Orlando Magic and Miami Heat NBA action here for Wednesday night with Magic on the road. Right now in a 4-game losing streak coming in. They're 23-22 overall. They were on a good surge, but man, they've really run into it here ever since that trip across the pond. They basically lost 3 straight since returning. They lost the first one, remember, in London, and now they've lost consecutive games here to Charlotte, and they did just lose a 2 and 3 nights to Cleveland on a home and home, 0-4 straight up and against the spread for Orlando in their last 4 games. Miami's won 4 of their last 6 and covered 6 of their last 9. They've won back-to-back games here as they return home from a long road trip where they won and covered 3 of the last 4 games coming into this one. I mean, you look at these two, right? I mean, both teams just hovering around the 500 mark, right? Well, let me give Miami credit on this little 2-game winning streak here. They've improved to 25-22, but it's really just barely a game better than Orlando's 23-22 mark. But look at them against the spread. Here it is, 2 teams that are Miami just 1 game ahead of them in the overall conference standings here, division standings. But Miami's 27-19 against the spread. Orlando's 17-28 against the spread. All that means is the public is totally wrong overrating Orlando, and they've underestimated Miami about pretty much all season long. At least these two comparatively, right? Miami 13-9 against the spread at home, 12-9 against the spread as a favorite. Orlando 7-15 against the spread on the road. So to me, it kind of looks like a one-sided situation here for Miami. Now, Orlando is just 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games against Miami. However, they've won pretty much every game against them of late. Orlando has won, I believe, uh, uh, 5 straight meetings between the two teams, but Miami's covered a couple of few of those games for sure. They did meet in December. It was 117. They met twice in December. 117-108 Orlando is a 1.5 point favorite, and then 108-105 Orlando in that one. But Orlando was the favorite. Miami actually covered in that one, and Miami actually covered a meeting, I believe, back in October here. So Orlando usually wins, doesn't cover. Miami's favored here. This one's kind of perplexing right now, but I don't know. To me, one team covers and one team doesn't. They're facing each other. Of course, a little bit of a rivalry between these two teams. Orlando's struggling here. Let's see what you got. Is this a game they bounce back? All right, here we go. Let's check it out right now. And Mr. Weskers likes Heat in this one on the money line. Greg says Miami owns them. Okay, I gotcha. I got you there. I thought it was Orlando with 5 straight wins, but only one cover out of that group, 2 covers. I looked back at several of the matchups, but maybe I got it wrong. Cal Dogs on the Heat here. And Mr. Wesker says Miami has trouble shooting. Magic can't make 3-pointers. Go under, says Gaming Gang. Good to have Gaming Gang here with the chat pros tonight. And Timmy Two Shoes. He's got Wiggins for some threes and some rebounds for a little plus money action there. I'm going to go with Miami here. Maybe it is close. It's closely rated here. Odds makers don't take spread records really too much into account. They're more interested in power ratings and scoring averages and everything. I think there's something to it that Miami's been such a strong cover and Orlando hasn't, even though the teams basically have the same record. I think that kind of favors what we've seen from the Miami Heat here this season. Now, they do have a hero out, but for Orlando, Franz Wagner is out. Normie Powell is questionable here for Miami. Also, Ware is questionable, and Davion Mitchell is questionable as well. But I'm going to take the Heat here tonight. And if I don't win, I'm going to take the Heat here on the show tomorrow from the chat. All right. All right, the Knicks are at the Raptors here. NBA action for Wednesday. We saw the Knicks there in action on Tuesday night, and they were able to get that win over Sacramento in rather convincing fashion, 103-87. We had a little bit of a winner here on Night Moves in that one. With our play last night on the show with the New York Knicks laying the points in that blowout win. Covered 14.5 in that one. Won it by 16, but that's what it's all about. For the Knicks, they've also won over Philadelphia and Brooklyn, covered in those games. They're still crummy on the road and as a road dog as well. They're not a road dog too often, but they are here tonight. And the Knicks are 7-15 against the spread on the road, 2-4 against the spread as an underdog. Toronto, not great either, just 9-14 against the spread at home and 11-16 against the spread as a favorite. So these guys also aren't too apt to covering, although Toronto is the closely rated game here, so they're 17-10 straight up as a favorite, and 13-10 straight up at home. Meanwhile, the Knicks are 1-5 straight up as an underdog, and 9-12 straight up on the road. So look, you're still going into Toronto here, so you're going to have to wonder, how do the Knicks do when they go into Toronto? Well, I'll tell you this: the Knicks have won 10 straight meetings between the two teams. I know Toronto fans know that. Knicks have covered 5 straight in those meetings. Toronto, though, 4-1 straight up and against the spread in their last. Actually, they're 4-0 straight up and against the spread in their last 4 games. Playing well here. Wins over Golden State, Sacramento, Portland, and OKC in that last matchup. So Toronto on a roll here right now. They are just 5-10 against the spread, as I said, at home with some of the poor run, but usually they're favored by a little bit more than this in some of these home games. The Knicks are just 6-14 against the spread in their last 20. They've had issues. Knicks have gone under in 5 straight. Coming in right now, they're 3-7 to the under in their last 10. Toronto is 10-17 to the under as a favorite here. So I'm going to go with the under here in this one. Look, this is tough if you want to take Toronto. I think there's a lot of indicators that would probably say, Toronto, the Knicks are playing just maybe well enough here to win, given their overall record this season. They're 28-18, but Toronto's 29-19. This is an excellent game tomorrow. I'm going to just take the under here. I think I like the side, but I might be keeping my cards close to my vest, if you know what I mean. Let's hear what you guys have to say in the chat in this one. I don't think they're getting anywhere close to 224, are they? Here we go with your plays in the chat here. Knicks for Cal Dog. Mr. Wesker's on the Knicks. Greg's on the Knicks. Okay. Well, I tried to talk up Toronto here, but look, like I said, the 10 straight wins for the Knicks over Toronto here right now, covering pretty much every time. They did cover 117-101 back in December as a 6.5-point favorite here in Toronto. Also covered at home 116-94 as an 8.5-point favorite at home. So Scotty Barnes to get 20 points, says Timmy Two Shoes. Raptors won't beat 2 big teams in a row off the win over OKC. And let's see here. Mr. Westwood says those weren't exactly hard games. You're right. They beat Golden State, Sacramento, and Portland there. Meanwhile, the Knicks, look, they didn't play. They played Sacramento and Brooklyn. I don't want to throw Philly quite into that group, but maybe I do. All right. Just brings out the best, and look, they got some relationships, obviously, with the I think of some of the players here with Barrett and stuff. And Mitch Robb, he's questionable for the Knicks. And for the Raptors, you got Murray Boyles questionable here. Knicks money line. Here, like I said, gaming gang, be careful there with Mitch Robb. He's on the injury report anyway. And Timmy's got Mamu Kalashvili over in his 3s here. And that's right, huh? And Nick's money line also for Gaming Gang. Okay, I'll take the under here in this one. I got 5 games and 3 unders so far. See if we can get a few more unders. Okay, next up. Charlotte Hornets and Memphis Grizzlies here. NBA action for Wednesday with the Grizzlies coming in going one direction and the Hornets going in going the other. Which one's going up? That'd be the Charlotte Hornets. Winners of three straight here. Hornets with wins over Orlando, Washington, and Philly. They did cover two of those. You didn't really expect them to cover 11.5 against Washington, did you? For Memphis, they've lost three straight, although they are coming in off of a road cover against Houston on a one-game road trip. They lost by 9 as an 11-point dog. They also lost at home here to Atlanta and New Orleans. Both teams that came back from Europe kind of went on a losing streak actually when they returned home. So Memphis though at home here, look, they're not a good cover. We know that 9-17 as an underdog, 10-13 against the spread at home. Meanwhile, Charlotte 15-10 against the spread on the road. But man, Charlotte. Everyone loves this team. They're a road favorite here by 2. In fact, I think it's 2.5 right now. It's at least 2. There we go. A lot of people liking this Hornets team here, but ever since I said that and people were talking them up, all they did was lose. Maybe they, saw them there in that game against Orlando, but okay, let's see what you got here in this one. I'll go to the chat and see what you like here with the Hornets taking on the Grizzlies here on Wednesday night. Charlotte comes in having covered 13 of their last 16 overall. They've been doing a nice job here. I mean, they're the hot hand, it feels like, coming in for Memphis. They've lost 4 of their last 5 and gone just 4-9 against the spread their last 13 games overall. Charlotte's gone under in 4 of their last 5 games, but 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Still, Memphis just 10-16 to the under as an underdog, but they have gone over in 4 of their last 5 overall. These two teams did meet already, I believe, once this season, and it was a blowout for the Hornets. Let's see what you got here in this one. Hornets and Grizzlies here on Wednesday night. And let's see here. Mr. Weskers likes the Hornets on the money line, even though he can't stand them. Here's Cal Dog on the Hornets as well. Hey, Jay Good in the chat. Really great to have Jay Good joining the chat pros here tonight. Thank you, Jay. He's got his NBA picks: Boston, Miami, Golden State, money line lock. I am not one of those that's going to say there's no such thing as a lock. You know what a lock is? A lock is a game that I really feel confident about. I think I'm going to have a good chance to win. We know you're still going to only win, even your most confident picks, everybody, right? I mean, 60%, that'd be good, right? If you could hit 60, that'd be a lock, in my opinion. If you could hit 60%, every game would be a lock, even if it wasn't a lock, if you know what I mean. Okay, let's see here. Got a few more comments on this one. Thank you, Jay Good. Good to have you. Timmy Two Shoes has to play the over here. He likes ball with 10 assists, ball with 4 threes, ball to keep balling right now. Gaming Gang, Miller over in his points. Timmy Two Shoes parlaying some props up here. The Gibson ratings are here tonight, and it's Memphis there by 5. Wow, he's got Memphis at home to get it done right now. How about that? And let's see here. All right, I guess that's going to do it in that one. I guess I got to make my call, and I'm going to take Memphis here tonight. Yes, the Hornets. I just talked about, Miami being such a good cover and Orlando not. If you're looking at that same philosophy, you'd probably be on the Hornets here right now. Hornets going one way, Memphis going the other, but I'm going to take Memphis at home to get one here as a slight dog. Hornets aren't quite good enough for me on the road. They are 10-15 straight up here, but I'm going to go ahead and take the Hornets. Memphis is terrible as an underdog, straight up 6-20, but this one's relatively closely rated here. I'm actually taking the Grizz here in this one. And Greg says, is Ja playing in this game? Yeah, I think let me see the injury reports. I think relatively clear for the Grizzlies. I mean, not Morant, but let's see what else is going on. Morant is out here for an extended period right now. No timetable actually for Morant. Brandon Clark is out of this one. He's been out forever, right? No, like I said, I have already Durant on my list where I don't even guys are out here for Memphis. All these guys out here. It's been a rough season, actually, if you think about it, for Memphis with these injuries. Okay. Next up. Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Dallas Mavericks. NBA action here for Wednesday. Dallas has been playing some great ball here of late, although they are coming in off of a loss to the Lakers last time out. Remember, they were looked like they were heading to their fifth straight win when the Lakers went right on by and covered the spread at home as Dallas kind of fell apart. It was actually at Dallas, remember. Minnesota, meanwhile, they just snapped a losing streak with a win over Golden State, 108-83. They covered the spread there in that one as a favorite. For the Mavericks here, they come in having won and covered for their last five. After that loss to the Lakers, they've gone under in 8 of their last 12 games overall. For the Timberwolves here, they come in having lost 5 straight before that win the other night. They're also just 3-6 against the spread in their last 9 games coming in. Minnesota just 4-8 ATS in their last 12 games against the Mavs. They've won 3 straight here over Dallas, including back in November. It was 120-96. Minnesota won and covered at home there in that one. 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over here. Dallas has been the much better cover, at least at home, 15-11 ATS at home, 17-13 ATS as a dog. Minnesota 15-22 against the spread as a favorite, and 10-13 against the spread on the road. Doesn't look like a great matchup necessarily for the Timberwolves here, other than the fact that they do kind of beat Dallas here of late, but they're not getting very many numbers, and Dallas is doing a nice job covering. Minnesota is 15-8 to the over on the road, although just 16-21 to the under as a favorite. I think I'm going to take the Dallas Mavericks here, plus all these points at home right now. Minnesota's not the same away from home, it feels like, at this point. They even lost to Utah, their last road game. Let's go to the chat pros here, see what you have in this one. All right, Mr. Western thinks the Mavs are live here. The Gibson ratings says take the Mavs plus the points, I think is what that says, by 5, and they're laying 6.5 here. Jay Good likes Dallas with me at home. Greg says Minnesota will win, Dallas will cover. That's what he says. Cal Dog says take the Mavericks and maybe take it to 8 points just to make sure. Timmy says going to be a 3-point fest here. Yeah, maybe. Like I said, Minnesota on the road, they kind of lack defensively, that's for sure. But I think in general, Dallas is kind of an under team. Dallas has looked better of late. There is some concern here now with Cooper Flagg in this game. He is questionable here in this one. We'll have to see. That probably will hold a lot of people back, but Ant is also questionable here in this game. So we'll see. the two stars here kind of out of this game right now. Are questionable for this game right now. Leonard Miller also questionable for the Timberwolves here. Timmy will take flag to hit a couple of threes. Dallas for Gaming Gang. And Timmy says, yep. I think it's a possible rest day, though, Timmy. I don't know if it's necessarily an injury in this one. Jay Good says Mavs might win. Mr. Wesker's feeling like he will play here. Good job, Mr. Wesker's right. Look, we could be wrong on some of these, and a lot of people say, hey, I need to know the lineups. But if you can anticipate the players who are in and out, and hopefully you're watching me on this show because I'm pretty good at talking about which players are in and out when, the speculative ones, the questionables. I think that's one of my specialties. How about that? All right. Greg says it'll be about the underdogs on Wednesday. Okay, we got a couple more here right now. We got the Warriors on the road taking on the Jazz. And look at this. Is it really 9.5 here right now? No, it's even higher in some spots at this point. This thing has reached 10.5 at DraftKings, although it is juiced up a little bit here to the Jazz if you want to get involved with that 10.5. Still looking at least 10 right now. Maybe there's some 9.5s out there at some of the sharp books. So the Warriors have actually taken the action here big time. They opened like 8 or 8.5 at some books here overnight. Total here has 241 or so. It feels like it's dropped just a little bit here. I don't know if it can drop much with these two teams. I mean, you have to think with these two teams, you'd be over City, wouldn't you? Let's see what you think of this one with the Warriors here on the road taking on the Jazz. And there are a few injury concerns here. You've got Steph. He is probable with knee soreness right now, so that's good news. Melton is questionable. Big Al is questionable. Cryer is questionable. Right now, Dre is probable here. Nurkic questionable for the Jazz. Keontae George questionable as well, but I think Markkanen is in. Jazz have lost 3 straight right now. Golden State's lost 3 of their last 4. Coming into this one, Jazz really haven't come close here in a few of these games. Losers too, San Antonio, Miami, and the Clippers. Meanwhile, for Golden State, coming in off of a loss at Minnesota. Remember, got blown out by 25 as Steph took the day off in that second game of the back-to-back on Sunday and Monday after the Warriors had won the game. Tough to sit one out when you're kind of struggling. They've lost, as I said, 3 of their last 4 coming in here. But, man, they're laying a lot of points here. They have dominated the series, winning 9 of the last 10 meetings and gone 9-4 ATS against the Jazz. Golden State's won 13 of their last 20. Jazz have lost 7 of 8. They've failed to cover in 4 of their last 5 at home and 5 of their last 7 overall. Jazz are just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games against Golden State. So, look, a lot of people, sometimes have been on the Jazz. They played last night and got blown out there by the Clippers, 115-103. I thought you got to think that was just a bad. I think what did we do on the show here? We were on the Jazz plus the 8.5 points. Clippers got it done. I think the Clippers are playing better than the Warriors right now as far as winning, covering spreads. You remember, Clippers have kind of been on fire here for the most part. Warriors, not so much. Look, Butler out for the season, and we thought maybe the Warriors will still be okay, but that was kind of big, and you still kind of want to go with them here in this one. I'm not sure I can. Let's see what you have. Maybe the total is the place to go because these two teams are 57-38 to the over combined. Warriors 23-12 to the over as a favorite. Utah 18-7 to the over at home. Yes, 241 here, but maybe that's the way to go. I'll just go over in this one between the Warriors and the Jazz. Still, I kind of want to be on the Jazz here. We'll see. Here, I know the Sharps are on the Warriors, and they're usually pretty good. And whenever you see, it's not a hard fast rule, but whenever you see overnight sharp action on a favorite like this, it's double digit favorite. I always have concerns, even as a just like anybody who thinks they're some semi-sharp playing double-digit home dogs. More often than not, it does seem like those road favorites get there. But maybe I've been guilty of going a little bit too much on this Jazz team. They are 15-10 against the spread at home, like I said. So you'd think they can stay within 10 points. I'll just take the over. Come on. Massive overs with these two teams. Warriors have gone over in 5 of their last 7. See what you got here. A lot of comments on this one. Everybody loves the Warriors. I mean, the Warrior games anyway. Okay, let's see if we got any comments here with this one. Mr. Weskers liked how the Jazz played there. Are you kidding, Mr. Weskers? No, I don't disagree. Look, Clippers did get the money in the game, so I guess that's part of it there. And maybe I was just a little flustered because in taking the Jazz and they just had a bad third quarter. That was all there was to it. Jazz were looking good there, basically even with the Clippers at halftime, but they just couldn't get anything going there in the third and just gave up all those points. So I kind of want to try them again. It's just they're on the back-to-back. I'm sure that's also another reason why the spread has kind of gone up here for the Warriors. But again, missing Butler is a big deal. It's just that he's so hit and miss sometimes here late in his career that maybe we think that they're going to be better off without Butler, but I'm not sure that's the case. I'll just take the over. Come on. It's a massive over teams right now, although the Warriors have gone under in 2 straight. But give me the over in this one. Don't trust taking the points, but take the under, says Cal Dog. And let's see here. Timmy wants George here. We'll see if he is in there for 4 threes. And Jay Good likes the under too. So you guys are on the under, and maybe I have this one wrong a little bit. There's no doubt that Utah has kind of come back down to, I don't want to say earth. They're the team that gives up all the points. That's kind of why they have all the overs, because they can't stop anybody most of the time. And the Gibson ratings here, like the Warriors, still to crush here a little bit, and maybe the over. And Mr. Wesker says the Jazz need to keep tanking here. I think we've talked about that before, right? I thought they have a protected in there, but yeah, you're right. Okay, let's see here. Under for Gaming Gang. Greg's got it in the woodshed. Can I say that? Let's see here. Jazz were competitive. They were great in the first half. I thought it was looking pretty good there for sure. All right. Maybe Vegas knows something. All right. Yeah, Timmy, we got to be watching for those sharp. Yeah. This is like sharp action 101. It feels like to me, but still want to take I want to fade the sharps in the game. I mean, I'm pretty sure pretty sure the sharps have already kind of come in on Golden State here, and I don't know if I can do it. Here's Jazz for Mr. Weskers.
Major lineman.
Warriors due for a smackdown, says Greg. All right, we got one more here on Wednesday night with the Spurs taking on the Rockets. Late feature here. You got the Knicks and the Raptors in the early spot, and we've got this one here on the ESPN late game with the Rockets coming in here off of a couple of wins over Detroit and Memphis. They didn't cover against Memphis, but they won by 9 as an 11-point favorite. Houston's back to playing pretty well here. Did lose to Philly a couple games back, but for San Antonio here, they're in off of a loss to New Orleans last time out. They're still 10-6 against the spread as an underdog here. Rockets haven't been a great cover, 8-11 ATS at home, 18-22 ATS as a favorite. For the Rockets here, they do come in having won 5 of their last 6, but just 3-10 against the spread in their last 13. Kind of, laying too many points. Actually, they've been winning, just been kind of too big of a favorite. Here, they're only favored by 3, 2.5 on screen there. Let's see what it is currently here. Make sure we get the latest. And I'd say 2.5 for the most part. There's some 3s out there as well. A total here, 221.5 here right now. That's kind of interesting here. Might end up with me here on another total, right? Because look, these two teams can't go over at all right now. They're stuck in reverse. San Antonio's gone under in 12 of their last 13 games. The Rockets have gone under in 6 of their last 7. 7 of the last 9 meetings between the Spurs and the Rockets, pretty frequent opponents, have gone under, including the last meeting just a week or so ago. It was 111-106. Houston won, laying 4.5, but under 220 there by 3 points. But the first meeting actually went over, but still, this is a pretty frequent series. Give me another under. I got to have 4 unders on this show. If we're going to have 9 games, I'll take the under in this one with the Spurs and the Rockets. Rockets have covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams, and they've been winning them for sure. But like I said, the Spurs did win the first one at home. So let's see what you got in this one. Spurs and Rockets to wrap it up here on a Wednesday. Sohan is questionable here. Steven Adams has been out again here with an ankle turn for a week or so. Here we go. I think Jay Good is on the over here in this one. Okay, Jay and I weren't quite clicking, but I hope that doesn't mean Jay won't come back, because I really appreciate you, Jay. Great picks and comments in the chat on the NBA tonight. I think Jay's been with us before, but I know he has, because I think that avatar, remember seeing Jay with that avatar. Mr. Wesker's not happy. We know he's not a big fan of the coach, and he's also not a big fan of these Rockets here right now. Greg says take the Rock. Well, he's got it right on the number. I think Greg likes the over in this one. And let's see here. Gaming Gang on the Rockets, and Durant to go over in his points. Timmy Chuchu's liking the Durant action as well. Mr. Weskers wondering about Wemby here. And it should be a great. I like this. You gotta like this card. And you gotta like those 2 featured games here on the ESPN slate for sure. All right, that's going to do it. Great job with the NBA gang. We're going to go. We got to look at college basketball after we destroyed that card here on the show last night. 9-1, really? Is that what it was? I almost want to add it up again. All right. Hey, you guys helped me out there for sure. That's why I have the chat pros put me on the right sides here. Let's go to the college basketball card. All right, I've got 9. I think I've got 9 games. I got to go with 9 games here lined up after yesterday's big performance on the show. So let's get to it here and roll with some of the biggest games in college basketball on Wednesday night, starting with A good one here anyway. Baylor taking on Cincinnati. A couple of teams that are in a bit of a losing streak, but Baylor comes in here 11-8. Cincinnati coming in 10-10 here. So we got some Big 12 action with Baylor 7-11 ATS overall. They're 0-6 against the spread as an underdog. Cincinnati 8-12. ATS overall. Cincinnati's a massive under team this year. 5-14 to the under overall, 3-9 to the under at home, 2-7 to the under as a favorite. Odds makers are reacting accordingly. This 147, I don't think would be 147 if not for Cincinnati's penchant for some of these unders right now. There's some 148s out there. Baylor's an over team. They're 12-6 to the over, but note they're 2-4 to the under as an underdog. The sharps are on the over. I know this is what I think. I mean, I'm here to interpret the markets, and that's the way I think I'm seeing it. The sharps are on the over here. Usually I would kind of trust them in a spot like this, but I don't know if I can, given some of these trends here with these two teams right now. But I think I just got to take Cincinnati to roll here against Baylor, especially given the fact that Baylor has failed to even cover a game as an underdog yet this season. I'm going to end up here on Cincinnati in this matchup against Baylor here in this one. Baylor's 1-6 straight up and against the spread in their last 6 games overall. Cincinnati's lost 5 of 7 here as well, but they did pick up impressive wins against Colorado and Iowa State. Their last 2 games, they just lost in the Arizona swing, losing to the Sun Devils and the Wildcats over the weekend. So Baylor's gone over in 11 of their last 16. Like I said, this season, they're more of the over team. But, man, Cincinnati here definitely having a lot of unders right now. Okay, let's see if you like this one. I tried to pick the best games, but could have gone maybe into some mid-major still. All right. I might have some bacon after this show, Mr. Weskers, or maybe some sausage. I know it's going to be creepy, but I sometimes have breakfast after this show, and it's like 2 in the morning. I stay up all night. All right, Mr. Weskers can't get behind the Bears. They've just done too much damage. Yeah, they've not been a great cover for sure this season. Under for Timmy Two Shoes, Cal Dog like Cincy here with me. And the Gibson ratings likes the Bearcats here. And yeah, Cincinnati. They're tough right now. I think Cincinnati here. Look, these two teams got to pick it up a little bit here right now, and we'll see. Key game here feels like in the Big 12. Give me Cincinnati. Well, we got Cal Dog in the chat. We got the Cal Bears in the preview. Let's take a look at this one with the Golden Bears on the road here, taking on the Seminoles in transatlantic conference play. Right now, Cal winners of 2 straight here coming in. Nice little run. Wins over North Carolina and Stanford. Stanford, that'll do it every time. For Florida State, they've been struggling, no doubt, of late. Lost last time out to SMU. They did beat Miami, but they had consecutive losses before that to NC State, Syracuse, and Wake Forest. Cal's 15 and 5 straight up coming in, 3-1 against the spread on the true road this season. Florida State comes in here just 8-12 right now, but they are 7-4 straight up at home, 6-3 straight up as a favorite, although just 4-5 against the spread as a favorite. For the Bears here, they did meet Last season, it was 77-68. Cal won at home as a 3.5 point dog in that one. But Cal right now, terrible on the road straight up, dating back to last season, just 1-9 on the road here. They've done a lot of damage at home so far, but have struggled on the road. Florida State, however, has lost 6 of their last 7, although they've covered 4 of the last 6. Markets kind of caught up caught up caught up to them a little bit here, giving them some extra points here in this one. Still, it feels tough to me for California. Are they really good enough to go out here and win some of these road games? Look, they're having a fine season. Madsen's done a very good job. Yes, Florida State's uh, under 500 here right now. I'm really impressed actually with the job Madsen has done, but Cal has gone just 5-12 here in their last 17 conference games overall, straight up. Cal's gone under here in 11 of their 19 games. FSU's 3-6 to the under as a favorite, 5-8 to the under at home, 5-12 to the under, last 17 at home, dating back to last season, and under in 6 of their last 9 games overall. Let's hear from you in the chat. Can Cal keep it going here right now and get this road win? Let's go to the chat and see what you have here. Maybe I just ride with the total in this one, and you know I'm going under. But let's see here. The Gibson ratings likes Cal the win on the road. You know Cal dogs on the Cal Bears here. And Jimmy, maybe looking at Florida State. I was looking at it too. I was looking at Florida State here. The overall spot, the old spot. Maybe that's how I could say it. It looks like Florida State. The Sharps are on Florida State. I'll tell you that. Cal underrated still. I gotta agree with that. Anytime you got a team here covering a few games and still with a good record, Florida State did do a good job against Duke. Yeah, that was a while ago, wasn't it, Greg? When was that game? God, that had to be 3 or 4 weeks ago right now, doesn't it? Yeah, back on January 3rd, 91-87. Look, I mean, the FSU, I know they're 1-6 right now here in conference play. And like I said, give Cal a lot of credit here. They're 3-4 in conference play, but Florida State right now in last place. I think the producer did a bad job picking some of these games. That's what I'm going to go under here, penalize the producer here. Saying he's got picking the best games, and we got Florida in last place. Mr. Westers is the executive producer. He said preview Florida State game. All right, let me go to this ain't much better, but we do got to talk a little St. John's basketball. We got to find a ranked team in here somewhere today. St. John's on a roll. Of course, come on. It wasn't going to take Coach long to get things going here a little bit with St. John's here. Yeah, they are trailing Connecticut here by a game and a half right now, but still 8-1 in conference play, 15-5 overall. Butler's been heating up. 3 straight wins here right now over the Hall, over DePaul, and over Marquette. I know those are not the best. Well, Seton Hall's doing pretty well, but not the best teams in the conference, but still, Butler 11-9, ATS 4-2. ATS is a road dog. St. John's here 5-7 against the spread at home, 8-10 against the spread as a favorite. St. John's is 4-8 to the under at home, and Butler's 2-4 to the under as a dog. Here, I might be setting it up. I might be setting myself up for an under here, but let's see if you like this game between Butler and St. John's. Like I said, a little bit better of a conference game here. You got Ejiofor for St. John's, their great senior, and you got Ajayi for Butler, their great senior. So really, you got probably the two best players, it feels like, in the conference so far this season in this game. That's the way I feel about it. Let's see what you've got, though, here in this one with Butler and St. John's. It's gone up here a little bit, uh, maybe even 12.5 at some spots right now. Let me take a quick peek at this. Yeah, it's 12.5 everywhere now. And total is down maybe here to 162.5, but a little bit of move there on the Johnnies. And is Coach Patino going to have something for the rest of the season here? Can they challenge? Can they get it back up there and challenge Villanova? Can they beat them in the conference tournament here maybe? All right, let's go with see what you guys have in here in this one. Butler is just 1-6 against the spread. Their last 7 meetings against St. John's. St. John's has won 6 straight games here right now, covering 4 of those 6 games. Butler's won here right now 13 of 20 this season, although just 4-9 against the spread overall. St. John's are just not always covering these big numbers here. Butler's gone over in 6 of their last 8. St. John's has gone over in 4 of their last 5. But this series has gone under in 5 straight. They did meet just 3 weeks ago. And it was 84-70. St. John's got the win on the road as a 4.5 point favorite. So I'm going to take the under here in this one. Be careful with Butler here. St. John's is looking pretty good. Double digits, so maybe that's going to scare everybody away. Let me see if I go to the chat here, see what you have here. Well, let me clear my throat. We got Butler here for Timmy Two Shoes. And, yeah, great guy there, old Dan Hurley, huh? Timmy's got Butler, though, in this one. I think Greg likes Butler here as well. Butler to cover after that game against the Johnnies, says Cal Dog. Yeah, since then, they've won 3 of 4 games. Mr. Wesker's no fan of the Bulldogs. Greg says, is St. John's that good or is Butler that bad? I think Butler's a pretty decent team here. I think St. John's is pretty good, don't you? I think Coach Patino knows how to get some guys to come play for him. They give Patino in the NIL and keep his career going. That's right, Timmy Two Shoes. I'm just taking another under. What a cop-out. Yeah, Greg, that's the thing about, look, Butler came into this, into the Big East and several years ago. Great addition, some of these teams that came in here, right? Butler and Xavier and, it's been several years now, of course, but Greg says, did Michigan win yesterday? Oh, I think he's doing a little sarcasm there. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, Michigan did win. And Jimmy says Butler will get that back door against St. John's. Let's keep it going right now. This is a write-in game. Remember, this game was postponed. So this is a write-in game here with Tennessee and Georgia at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. So just take note of that and write it in on your schedule like I just did. See me flipping around with my paper here with my notes. And this one, a write-in game with Georgia, favored here by 2.5. And the total in this one is 160. Georgia not ranked here. They're 16-4 here overall. Tennessee 13-6. Georgia did lose last time out at Texas 87-2. 67, snapping a 2-game winning streak as they beat Arkansas and Missouri. Georgia's definitely struggled here to the number of late, just 3-7 ATS overall. They are 5-5 ATS as a favorite overall. Tennessee, meanwhile, just an underdog for the fourth time this season. They are 2-1 ATS as a dog, but they're 7-12 ATS overall coming in. Georgia comes in here with a 16-4 record, 11-1 straight up at home. Meanwhile, Tennessee just 1-3 straight up on the road. Closely rated game here. So these two teams have not yet met this season, but Tennessee has pretty much owned Georgia here for the last several years right now. Last year's meeting was 74-56. The Vols won at home, laying 12.5. The year before that, the Vols won 85-79. And the year before that, the Vols won 70-41. They've won several in a row over Georgia here of late, have the Tennessee Volunteers, and they're on the road getting the points actually in this one. So I don't know if it's enough here to maybe consider them, but it is pretty much a one-sided series over the last 5 years. I think they've won them all out of the pandemic. Total here 160 or so. Tennessee is 12-7 to the over this season, and Georgia's 9-5 to the over at home. Well, I think Mr. Under might be on an over here. Tennessee's gone over in 6 of their last 7. Georgia's been going under here of late, under in 5 of their last 6. Tennessee just, despite all these wins for Tennessee against Georgia, they're just 3-9 against the spread, though. Usually Tennessee's been favored in some of these games here. Georgia here has gone 13-1 in their last 14 games at home here right now. Let's see what you got in the chat. Here we go with Mr. Weskers is on Georgia here. Georgia's the real bulldog, says Cal Dog. Compared to the Butler, I think he's compared to the Butler Bulldogs. Greg says, Greg, the Gibson ratings here has Georgia to rock. You guys are on Georgia, man. I'm not messing with you guys. I'm thinking Tennessee, but Tennessee ain't beating them, says Greg. They're not at home. So, man, I don't know. I just like I said, Tennessee's been the dominant team in this series, and I don't necessarily look. Georgia is 16-4. They're having a pretty good run here right now, no doubt about it. Even though they lost at Texas their last time out. Tennessee, meanwhile, won at Alabama, 79-73. They lost to a hot Kentucky team before that at home, 80-78. They won versus A&M, but did not cover, and they lost to Florida in a blowout. All right, I'm going with the over in this one because you guys are saying I never go over, but I'm going to go over in this one. But I might be on Tennessee, you guys. Greg says they're just not like that this year. Mr. Wesker says, there's some folks maybe out there still on Tennessee in this one. All right, gang, we'll keep it moving here right now. Next up, gonna keep rolling here in college basketball is what we're gonna do. That's why we're capping a lot of games here, trying to keep it rolling on night moves. And we got a good one here in the Missouri Valley. We definitely got to take a look at Murray State, period. That's what it says there on the screen, but we at least fix that so don't look a fool. There we go. Murray State is favored in this one against Illinois State. Good game here in the Missouri Valley right now for sure. Do want to look at at least a few other conference games here. Right now, Murray State comes in here 8-2 in the conference standings. Illinois State, meanwhile, not Illinois. Illinois State here. The graphics man struggling tonight. Illinois State here 6-4. Murray State 8-2, tied for first with Belmont. Right now, they have a 1.5 game lead over Illinois, Chicago, and Bradley here currently. Illinois State comes in here 14-7 overall. Murray is 16-5. Illinois State has won 2 straight. Murray has lost 2 straight. Illinois State with wins over Bradley and Northern Iowa. They didn't cover against Northern Iowa in that last game. Murray, meanwhile, their losses here were on the road at Drake and Northern Iowa. So want to do a little comparison. Both teams just played Northern Iowa in their last game. Now, Illinois State did win at home and did not cover. Murray State lost on the road and also did not cover. Murray State comes in here, though, with a 12-9 spread record. Illinois State just 3-5 ATS on the road. Meanwhile, Murray 8-4 ATS at home in this one. That total 160 here. Illinois State is 8-11 to the under. Murray State 12-9 to the over. These two teams have not yet met this season, but Illinois State has won 3 straight meetings overall between the two teams. Last year, Murray lost 74-65 at home. Illinois State came in and won here as a 7-point dog. So, look, Illinois State has the best player probably in the conference in junior Chase Walker, but Murray, of course, Javon Jackson, the senior here. Let's see what you got in this one. Illinois State and Murray here on Wednesday night. I want to hear from you in the chat. I think we got a pretty decent ball game here that I ended up looking at. Let's go to the chat pros. See what you have in this one. All right, Illinois State here for Mr. Weskers. Hope you understood it was Illinois State. I'm sure you did. Murray here, the Gibson ratings likes Murray here to get it done. He trusts him to get it done at home, says Greg. And Timmy Two Shoes on Illinois State here. Cal Dog like in Illinois State as well. Oh, man, it's all Illinois State, it looks like, in the chat here right now. So, all right, I gotta respect that. Maybe I just go to the total here again. You guys are solid on Illinois State. Illinois State's covered 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams, although Illinois State has covered just 1 in their last 5 games overall here. That was the win over Bradley. For Murray here, they've won them all at home so far this season. They're 10-0 here. They're only laying 3 points. I'll just say it like that. But Illinois State's been very, very solid here right now, winning 13 of their last 18. Like I said, they're the team that's 6-4 though, and Murray 8-2 overall. So let's see here. Any others from the chat? Okay. All right, guess that's it in that one. And I'm going to have to take Murray State here in this one against Illinois State. Give me the Racers in this one. Let's go to a little bit more Big 12 action. We got to look at the Houston Cougars, I think, here tonight in their game against TCU in Fort Worth. Houston coming in off of a loss. I think that's worth noting here right now. They lost to Texas Tech. Hey, we had Texas Tech in that big game on Saturday. It was 90-88. Houston was actually favored by 1.5. Lost the game outright here, so they could be looking to strike. TCU, meanwhile, they've won 2 straight over Oak State and Baylor. They covered against Baylor, didn't cover, laying 8.5 to Oak State, but TCU 6-1 against the spread as an underdog this season. Houston just 6-8 ATS as a favorite. I feel like the Sharps are going to still be on Houston here. And again, these road favorites, when I know you guys are having fun with me in the chat, but these road favorites, when they end up laying it on the road, the Sharps kind of come in on it and kind of massage the line a little bit higher. Let me see how much it has moved actually before I start uh, spouting off here a little bit with Houston here. It was yeah, I know I knew it. Okay, Houston opened as low as 5.5 here in this one. They're all the way up to 8.5 here right now. But well, you know what? I mean, I still think that I kind of like Houston to blow them out actually. But Houston won last year's meeting, 65-46 as an 18.5 point favorite. You see the total here at 137. Don't be surprised if it's more like that score that I just recited here right now in last year's game. Now, granted, that was at Houston, but they held TCU to 46. I only say it like that because the year before they also held TCU to 45 points. So in the last 2 years here, both games were at Houston, mind you. TCU scored 45 points and 46 points. So I'm going to take Houston in this one. I just think the much better team right now. Great job, Houston. They're doing TCU. They're doing a great job covering some spreads at home. They got some, a couple good players in Punch and Harding, but right now, I mean, you saw Fleming's already have that incredible game last time out. Houston also. We know they're 17-2 straight up right now, 12-2 straight up as a favorite. TCU 11-9 against the spread overall, but I'm going to take Houston to blow them out. Actually, I'm just going to take Houston. That's what I'm going to do. I don't think the chat pros are going to be able to talk me off this one. All right, Timmy likes Houston to go nuts. Cal Dog likes Houston to bounce back, and I agree with Mr. Weskers. There's certainly some sharps, some winning sharps, as I like to call them, taking TCU here, and I just can't do it. There are some actually. I say the sharps. I'm not saying that they're on. I'm just reading the market when I say the sharps, guys. You know that. I don't really know any sharps other than you guys. Okay, but I look at these services that I subscribe to, the Don Best and the Sports Insights, and the old market trackers. Cinderella story here, Mr. Weskers. Former Greens keeper about to win the Masters. Okay, let's see here. It said Houston just lost. Yeah, so they're going to bounce back. All right, I guess that's it for that. I'm on Houston. I can't not be on Houston in this one, I'm afraid. All right, the Colorado State Rams taking on the San Diego State Aztecs with Mountain West action here for Wednesday. First place, San Diego State. Their only loss was because the officials jobbed them in that game against Grand Canyon. That's all I can say. Yes, I'm an Aztecs fan. It was a phantom call, and Grand Canyon got the win. Good for them. For San Diego State, though, here, meanwhile, they are on a roll despite that loss. They bounced back big time with a win here over UNLV in Las Vegas. An easy, not an easy win, but a good win, a good solid win and cover. Once they got into conference play, it's been all Aztecs, it seems like. Still, you got a nice Colorado State team coming in here with a record of 12-8 right now, although just 2-5 straight up as an underdog. Colorado State is 12-7 against the spread overall. San Diego State just 5-7 against the spread at home. They are guilty of laying a few too many points in some of these games, and some of these games do turn into rock fights. Not so much this year or anymore right now. I mean, San Diego State 7-5 to the over at home. in this one. But man, 139 the total here. Let's see what you got in this one with Colorado State and San Diego State. Colorado State is just 4-13 straight up and 3-8 against the spread against San Diego State in the last several seasons. Colorado State's just 3-6 straight up in their last 9. San Diego State has won 8 of their last 9. 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and San Diego State's gone under in 4 of their last 6 games overall. Last season, CSU actually beat San Diego State in Fort Collins, 68-63 is a 3-point favorite, but San Diego State had won the earlier meeting at home, 75-60 as a 7-point favorite. In that one, they did handle their business, and they're playing pretty well. Their best player has been kind of out of the lineup again here for a while. Well, not for a while now. It just kind of recently got re-injured. I'm talking about Magoon Gwath, and he is questionable. Goon is questionable in this game here, but it looks like Goon has a degenerative hip condition, I would think, because he keeps kind of that's the injury he keeps having here right now for Gwath. So, all right, let's see what you got here in this one with Colorado State, San Diego State, Mountain West action here on Wednesday night. Colorado State just 3-6 in conference play, and but San Diego State not exactly terrific at covering double digits. They did cover 14 points against Fresno at home earlier, 71-52. Failed to cover against New Mexico in their last home game, 83-79. And we'll go to the chat here right now with and here is Cal Dog. He says, Cal Dog, are you talking about, who said it? Did someone mention that in the chat? Are you talking about those old Docs books? Because I used to have a pretty strong relationship with Doc Sports back in the day, before this current group of people who are running it. And man, they used to send me 10 boxes of those things every year. Of course, I managed a sports bar big time, and the guy who used to come out there and order the boxes for me knew that I was maybe taking a little action there at the old sports bar. If we'd get 10 boxes of those things, and we just give them out to everybody. Greg, he likes the Aztecs to do it. Those little red books, like they were like this big, right? I think that's what you're talking about. Greg Gibson liking San Diego State here. Cal Dog liking the over in this one. Greg says San Diego State in the under here. And let's see here. Yeah, Cal Dog, so interesting. And Mr. Weskers is on the Aztecs here as well. I think the Aztecs are going to blow them out. I'm going to take San Diego State here to win comfortably in this one. Next up, San Francisco taking on Santa Clara. Let's get some West Coast Conference action here for Wednesday night, with the Broncos favored at home here by 9. Total 150 over the Dons. Santa Clara's won 4 straight here right now. They're 17-5 overall. They did fail last time out to USD in an 85-73 win there, but they were laying 13.5. Before that, it was all smooth sailing pretty much. They'd covered several in a row. They even covered against Gonzaga, although they did lose that game to the Zags. Here for Santa Clara, they are 9-5 against the spread at home, but San Francisco is 6-3 against the spread on the road, 5-3 against the spread as a dog. Santa Clara is 11-7 against to the over as a favorite. I've got another blowout here, actually, guys. I'm going to take Santa Clara to win here big against San Francisco. I got a double-digit win tonight in this one. Santa Clara did win last year here at home, 77-54 as a 2.5 point favorite. Maybe the Broncos weren't quite as good as they were last year right now coming in. I mean, we know that this Broncos team right back to where they usually are, just sitting up there behind Gonzaga. Santa Clara is 8-1. St. Mary's is 8-1. Usually San Francisco maybe a little bit better. They're 5-4 right now. And Gonzaga, of course, leading the conference here at 9-0. So I'm going to take the Broncos, though, to blow them out. I've got a blowout in this one. And let's see here. All right. I'll try to get to Auburn there, Mr. Weskers, if we can. Remind me there. Greg says San Diego played Connecticut in that championship game and never bounced back. Oh, I got to disagree with that. I mean, yeah, I mean, last year could have been better. They still kind of got it going there eventually, but did fizzle out. I know they finished middle of the pack in the conference last 2 years, so maybe you're right there, Greg, but the conference is a little bit tough sometimes, and I think San Diego State obviously back this year right now. No excuse for those last 2 seasons, but they still were able to get it kind of going together. They're never leaving this team out of the NCAA tournament, it feels like, anymore, unless they really were, really in tanko mode here. So they're always back right now, San Diego State. Let's see. Last year they lost to UNC in the tournament, and before that, even when they finished middle of the pack in that year, that they ended up losing there to UConn 2 years ago. Remember, they went into the Sweet 16 after a mediocre regular season. That was after that year. Okay, let's see here, Mr. Weskers. Maybe Mr. Weskers going to the Super Bowl. Cal Dog likes the Dons here in this one. Jimmy Choo-Choo likes Santa Clara there, it looks like. And Greg. Oh, okay, yeah. Look, I think this San Diego State team right now is underrated. But when you got 5 losses, there were some. What were their losses? A couple of them were not great. Here, let me see. They lost to Troy in double overtime. They lost to that game to Grand Canyon. That wasn't great. But the Troy loss is the one that stands out. They lost to Michigan by 40 also, and they lost to Baylor as well. So they're going to win. I think they'll be able to win this conference, but it's tough. Okay, I got one more here tonight with the Bruins taking on the Ducks here. In this one, you got the Bruins on the road, favored by 5, total 138 here tonight. Bruins come in 14-6. The Ducks, we know, are struggling right now at 8-12. You wonder if they can get it turned around at all. These two teams have already met this season. UCLA won at 74-63 at home as an 8.5-point favorite. It did go pretty well under in that one. This total is well under the first total, the first game total, which was 146.5. Oregon is 3-6 to the under as a dog here right now, and we'll see what you have in this one. Give it to me here with the Bruins on the road taking on the Oregon Ducks. You got UCLA coming in here 8-0 in their last 8 games against the Oregon Ducks, and the Oregon Ducks are struggling. Yes, the Bruins are on the road, and they've covered just 2 of their last 5, but this is a series that they have dominated, no doubt about it. Oregon's lost 6 straight right now and covered just one of those 6 games. Oregon's gone under in 5 straight games here right now. UCLA's gone under in 6 of their last 7, and 7 of the last 10 meetings have gone under. I'm going to go under here in this one, but I do think maybe the Bruins here might be the right choice here. 8 straight covers for the Bruins in this series. They've won 3 straight meetings overall here. Not only the one this year, but they won both meetings last year as well, including here in Eugene, 73-71 as a 3.5 point dog. Okay, we're going to go to the Chat All-Stars. We got 3 games to look at on the ice. And we've got the Gibson ratings liking Oregon here. I think Timmy Two Shoes says Oregon can get there. And Oregon can't get blown out every game. Man, it's been rough. They lost by 15 to Washington, by 16 to the Spartans, by 10 to Michigan, by 35 to Nebraska, by 10 to Ohio State. So they're not even coming close right now. And you got to wonder if the Bruins have covered 8 straight meetings against them. All right, that's it for college basketball. That's good handicapping, good handicapping over here on the show. All right, let's get to the ice here on Wednesday night. We got 3 games to look at here. Let's get to it, and then the show will be over. Flyers on the road taking on the Blue Jackets here. NHL action for Wednesday with Philly on the road here as an underdog against these Blue Jackets right now. Blue Jackets $1.30, $1.35 or so. Columbus, winners of 2 straight games over Dallas and Tampa Bay. How's that? Pretty good. We know the Blue Jackets have been a pretty good home favorite this season. They're 13-8 at home, 11-4 as a favorite overall. Flyers just 13-21 as an underdog here this season right now. They are 12-9 on the road. They've done a nice job there. They did lose to the Islanders 4-0 there a couple nights ago. Couldn't get the offense going. That was after they beat Colorado 7-4, so they might have had a little bit of a letdown there in that one. Flyers here have lost 8 of their last 10. They've lost 4 of the last 6 to Columbus. Columbus has won 6 of their last 7, including 4 of their last 5 at home here. Now, the Flyers might be the slightly more profitable team, it feels like, particularly on the road. Philly has a 12-9-4 record on the road. They're up nearly 3 units on the road this season. Meanwhile, Columbus, for their modest success here, they are still down 2 units at home. So sometimes you get caught too big of a favorite here, but Columbus has won the last 2 meetings here against the Flyers. Last 2 meetings against the Flyers. This is the first meeting of the season between the 2 teams. I'm taking the Blue Jackets here in this one over Columbus on Wednesday night. Didn't talk too much about the total, but Flyers a big time over for sure here right now and this season. 30-21 to the over, 23-11 to the over as an underdog. They've gone over in 7 of their last 8 and 10 of their last 14. 7 of their last 8 at home and 10 of their last 14 overall. Columbus and Philly have gone over in 8 of the last 12 meetings here. So Columbus also 10-5 to the over as a favorite. All right, see if you're betting this one tonight. We're in the NHL. Don't trust the Flyers. Take the Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets because they're at home. The Jackets keep rolling, and the over for Jimmy Two Shoes. Next up, we got the Avalanche on the road taking on the Senators. In this one, you got the Avs coming in a $1.55. Mackenzie Blackwood between the pipes here. Colorado still 35, 6, and 9. I mean, come on. But Ottawa here, 24, 21, and 7. Both teams have lost 2 of their last 3. Colorado, though, did win at Toronto last time out, 4-1. They're actually 15-4 on the road. Pretty good, pretty good road record. Ottawa just 12-10 at home, 6-9 as an underdog. But Colorado comes in here right now with wins in 7 straight meetings over the Ottawa Senators. Senators have actually dropped 8 of their last 12 and 4 of their last 6 games at home. These 2 teams did meet in their only other meeting this season about 3 weeks ago. Colorado won it 8-2 at home. In fact, they have outscored Ottawa here in the last basically over the last three seasons. They've outscored the Ottawa Senators 31-17 overall. So 8 of the last 9 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. That doesn't surprise you after I read off those statistics there anyway. Ottawa's 31-21 to the over this season. We know Colorado is a bit of an under, 9-15 to the under on the road. Let's see what you got here in this one. Look, the Sharps are going to be on Ottawa. I'm pretty sure of that. And I don't blame them, I guess, at plus $1.30 in this one. But, they don't really beat Colorado. This is still Colorado here. Let's go to the chat. And I might have had the order wrong because I think the Islanders and the Rangers were moved to 7 Eastern. So sorry about that. Sorry about that, fam. But I know there's are there 7s out there on this game? No, it's all 6.5 overs here in this one. I'm going to take the over in this one with Colorado and Ottawa. The Sharps are going to be on Ottawa here, and it might not actually be a bad side. The puck line's just way too high to consider, but Ottawa's not in a bad spot in this game. Despite what we've seen great play here from Colorado here this season. Just the fact that they're on the road here right now, and yeah, Colorado's kind of given a few away. They've actually, they won at Toronto last time out, but they had lost 3 or 4 home games before that. So, all right. Let's go to the chat pros here, and Cal Dog's on the Avs. Timmy's with me. He's going over. Greg says Colorado escapes here. So, Mr. Wester, sorry about that, man. Let me see if we can't go back to that after this. Greg here, 5-2 Avs. And Olmark might be exploited, says the chat. Says the chat here in this one. All right, let me do one more hockey game, and we'll see if we can't get to the Tigers there. All right, here we go. One more. Okay, I got to put the goalies in there. This one I screwed up because this one actually is a time change to 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific, with the Rangers on the road here taking on the Islanders. Okay, here we go. I think the Islanders are going with Spencer Martin in here at goal. So, all right, let's do this one next here with a little bit of a change here. It could be quick, but it could be Spencer Martin in here right now. So have to take that into consideration. Rangers come in here off of a win. They've snapped a 3-game losing streak with a win last time out over Boston. 4-3. Did go overtime, but Rangers were able to get the win. I was on Boston in that one. Islanders here off of the 4-0 win over Philly. They had not been playing well. They looked good in that one. Here, Rangers are 16-12 on the road. We know that, but Islanders at home 14-9. So Rangers, we know, play their best hockey on the road, but Islanders have actually won both meetings so far this season. It was 5-0 there at the Rangers. The Islanders won, then they won at home here 2-0 back on December the 27th. For the Isles here, they come in having won 9 of their last 12 overall. Rangers have dropped 8 of 10, although the Rangers have won 8 of the last 11 meetings between the two. Still, the Islanders have won the last 2, so maybe there is something to that. Rangers have gone over in 6 of their last 7 on the road. They're 16-13 to the over as a dog. Meanwhile, here the Islanders 9-7 to the over as a favorite, but they've gone under in 4 of their last 6 games overall. Give me the New York Islanders here in this one at home. Yes, the Rangers play their best puck on the road here, I guess, but you know what? I was going to say maybe when they're on the road further away from the metro area. However, they've started to give it back on the road big time. They just finished that last road trip. Yes, it was out west, but they lost 3 in a row to Anaheim, LA, and San Jose. Maybe closer to home, they will be better, but I'm going to go with the Islanders in this one. All right, let me take a look here at the Auburn Tigers, see if we can't find an angle here, at least get the information out for Mr. Weskers here in that game anyway, kind of cover some of the trends against the Texas Longhorns here. So see what we can do with this one, Mr. Weskers, by request. And you got to do it. I mean, you know, someone like Mr. Weskers here with us night in and night out, you got to come with it. All right, let me take a look. All right, got to call it up here, though, real quick. Look at my ratings, if you don't mind there. Stand by. And take a look at this one here. This one's at 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific with Texas underdog here at Auburn by 6, and the total is 158 here in this one. Let's see, SEC action for Wednesday here. All right, Longhorns coming in here with a 12-8 record. They did win last time out, snap a 2-game losing streak with an 87-67 win over the Georgia Bulldogs. They'd lost prior to that to UK and to Texas A&M, but Texas still 12-8 against the spread, 5-2 against the spread on the road. Auburn, meanwhile, comes in here on a 3-game winning streak right now. Auburn with wins over South Carolina, Ole Miss, and Florida. They didn't cover against the Gamecocks, but in that game they were 13-point favorites. So have to think of that in there. But they did cover against Ole Miss. They did cover against Florida. Texas lost last year's meeting to them 87-82. Auburn, though, was favored by 10.5 points on the road in Austin in that one. These two teams are a combined 24-16 to the over so far this season. You've got Auburn here 8-5 to the over at home. Okay, I'll just have to go to my ratings here real quick. It might take just a second, but I'll be ready to go with my play here in this one with Texas here at Auburn. You can comment in the chat as well and see what you got. And I'm pretty confident, though, here that I am on the under. Despite these trends that point to the over here, I am on the under here in this one at 158. 58. Give me the under with Auburn and Texas at Auburn. All right. Look, Auburn's gone under in 4 of their last 5. I know Texas has been an over here right now for sure. They've gone over in 8 of their last 9, over in 10 of their last 15. They've actually gone over in 16 of their 20 SEC games here dating back to last year. But Auburn in conference play more so of an under here. I'm going to take the under. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Let me see. I might have missed some comments here. You guys are piling them up on me a little bit. Let's see here. Greg says he likes Texas here in this one. And Greg says they look good against Texas. Looked good against Kentucky. Yeah, they did. They got the money in that one too. So let's see here. Cal Dog on Texas here. Miller will have them ready to go. And thanks to everybody in the chat for the great comments here on the show here tonight. Thanks everybody for joining me here on Night Moves. It's going to do it. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com and check out our premium picks, including mine here on Wednesday. Make sure you grab the 3-day all sports pads. Let's ride into the weekend with some winners here at Tony's Picks. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout for those individual day packages. The 3-day all sports pass is already discounted. So join me here for 3 days. Get all my top plays, like I said, over here at Tony's Picks. I'm on other channels and other shows, but these are my top plays right here every day at Tony's Picks, my most selective of the cards. So check it out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Make sure you tune in to the Tony's Picks morning show tomorrow at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. Tony and his panelists get you ready for the action. Also, don't forget, you got the happy hour with Rod there. And then don't forget, Vegas Al leads in here, and I'm here tomorrow at 3 a.m. Eastern, midnight Pacific time with more Night Moves. That's going to do it. And for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel, I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Night Moves.